Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Romani. I've been locked for almost 4 years, so if you're looking for some guidance on your new lock journey, today we're going to be talking about some do's and don'ts. So first, I'm going to give you the don't, and then I'm going to tell you what to do instead. But I do want to say that all lock journeys are unique, so if something doesn't directly apply to you, you don't have to listen to it. Just take all of my advice with a grain of salt. If it applies, let it apply, and if it doesn't, let it fly. The first tip that I'm going to give you is to avoid tight styles whenever you're getting your hair retwisted. You don't want your styles to be tugging at your edges and at your scalp. Traction alopecia is a real thing, and if you don't know what traction alopecia is, it is when you start to lose hair follicles because you are tugging at your hair. That is why sometimes you see women who have bald spots on their edges. It's because they had styles that tugged at their hair. I have literally taken down styles the next day if I feel like it's too tight, because that's just something you don't want to chance. You can always put a style back in your hair, but sometimes it is hard to regrow those bald spots back when you have them. So instead of doing really tight styles with your locks, you can do more looser protective styles. And I'm not saying that you can't twist and braid your hair. Just make sure if you're doing your hair, you're not like tugging at your hair, and make sure the person who retwists your hair, so like if you go to a loctician, make sure they're not like yanking your hair. There is a way for you to twist your hair without like pulling your edges out. So you want to go for more low tension styles. Like today, my hair hasn't been retwisted, so I decided to do a turban, and I would consider this a low tension style. But sometimes I got to be careful because I will wrap these too tight and it'll start to give me headaches. So it won't tug at my hair, but it'll start to hurt my head. So you just have to make sure the style is like tight enough to stay but loose enough so it doesn't cause any damage. This is why I don't really do any updo styles when I do get a retwist, because it kind of pulls when you're like trying to twist in an upward direction. I always just like to do 2-strand twists, or I like to do braids because I just keep it down and it doesn't really hurt my head too much. And also, if you retwist your own hair, when you do the back row, make sure you like lean your head forward so that when you finally do like come back, you have enough room to like go back and forward. Because if you have your head like this and you're trying to like, I hope you get what I'm saying, but if you have your head back like this and you're trying to retwist, when you finally do get done with that twist, your head is going to be stuck right here because you never gave yourself that movement. So always retwist your hair like this so that you have like enough range of motion and it's not stuck right here, because that can be the tightest spot ever and you do not want the nape of your neck to be hurting. Another thing that you don't want to do is go days and weeks without hydrating and moisturizing your locks. I'm very guilty of this. Sometimes I just get too comfortable, like I don't care. Since we don't have to do a lot with our locks, sometimes it's just easy to not do anything and you just kind of get caught in the hustle and bustle of life, and you don't moisturize your hair, you don't hydrate your hair, and then your locks are brittle and it's just not a good look. So instead of doing that, you want to moisturize or hydrate your hair at least every other day. And if you can't commit to spraying something on your hair, just kind of like steam your hair in the shower, because that's typically what I do. I just like leave my hair out like this, so whenever I am getting in the shower, I put my hair up in a bun and then I leave it out so that the steam can hit it. But if you can, try to spray your hair at least every other day with regular water, rose water, or aloe vera juice. I'm not too big on oil, so I don't put oil throughout my hair, and oil does not moisturize or hydrate your hair. Oil seals in moisture and hydration, so you would only use oil after you have used something like water, aloe vera juice, or rose water. So when I say moisturize and hydrate, I don't mean just start like dumping oil on your hair every other day. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying use actual liquid on your locks and on your scalp. And you don't have to drench your hair either. Your hair just has to get a little mist. Another thing that you don't want to do is go to sleep with your hair all over the place, especially if you have cotton pillowcases or cotton sheets. That is going to cause buildup. It's going to make your locks dry, and you might even get some lint in your locks. And you can get these things out, but once it's in there, like once lint is like trapped inside of your lock, it's kind of hard to get it out. So instead of doing that, I would always recommend to sleep with a silk or a satin bonnet or a scarf. Typically, I like to use a scarf. I'm not too big on bonnets just because I like my hair to like lay down while I sleep. But if a bonnet works for you, then use a bonnet. Just make sure you're using something that has silk or satin. This is also going to help you retain the moisture in your locks while you sleep, because if you're just like rubbing your head on a cotton pillowcase while you sleep, it's going to dry your locks out, because that's just what that material does. My next tip is to not use heavy products in your locks. You don't want to use heavy gels and like heavy creams in your locks, just because that is a known way to cause buildup. And if you don't know what buildup is, it's just like if you wash your hair and you see like little white pieces, like little white clumps in your scalp or in your hair, that is built up product. Products can build up from a day, a week, a month. It really has no time frame. So instead of using heavy products, I would do water-based products or like light oils. For me, I don't even use anything in my hair. I use castor oil on my edges, and for the most part I just use water on my hair, and I might use a little bit of lock retwisting gel for the front of my hair, but that is water-based. So like when I say water-based, that means the first ingredient of the product that you're using needs to say water. It doesn't need to have some type of chemical. It needs to say water. So if you are using products, you want to make sure that they are specifically designed for locks. Don't try to use the same products that you used when your hair was straight or when your hair was curly. And the last thing that I'm going to advise you not to do is to not skip regular maintenance. Now, I'm not saying that you have to retwist your hair every 4 weeks or even every 6 weeks, but try not to go months on end without a consistent hair regimen, because that is how you're going to have inconsistency within your lock. And I know that firsthand, because sometimes I will skip my maintenance and then it'll be like thin, where like I retwisted my lock, and then it'll be thick, and then it'll be thin again. Just like make sure you have a consistent regimen so that your lock can be on a schedule and it knows how it's supposed to grow. And only you know what that schedule is going to be. Right now, for me, every 6 weeks retwisting my hair works for me, but I know some people who retwist their hair every 2 weeks, and I know that people say that we're not supposed to retwist our hair super often, but I know some people who it just works for them. So you just have to figure out what works for you. But I'm just going to say, do not skip consistent maintenance. Instead, find a regimen that works for you, that you can maintain with your work schedule, with your personal life. I really hope that this video helped you, and if you like videos like this, I have an entire lock playlist that has so many videos, like 60 videos now, and I'm telling you how to style your hair, how to start your locks, maintenance, all the things. So I'm gonna link that on the screen and down below. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you have any more do's and don'ts, feel free to leave it down below in the comments, along with a brown heart if you made it this far in the video. I love when you guys leave the brown hearts in the comments, because it lets me know that somebody is watching what I'm saying. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next video.